But let's check out Mario Kart and see what they got for us.
Mario Kart World on Nintendo Switch 2 is the first new home console Mario Kart in 10
Animations
years.
look
Logan
so
and I got to
different,
play
it's crazy.
A ton of it today on Switch 2 hardware, and we loved it, and we can't wait to tell you all about it, so let's go.
Yeah. Let's all look at this, fam.
Okay, so Mario Kart World's big new thing is the massive interconnected open world. It's really cool, it's really beautiful, and we both loved it. Tell me about it.
We're gonna look more into the free roam too. Let's check that out.
Mario Kart has done before. You're not just on a track and doing 3 laps anymore, and it's even bigger than something like Mount Wario from Mario Kart 8, where you're doing 3 different segments. You start at one course, and you are driving in different segments to the next course. If
That's
track
cool.
A is Moo Moo Meadows and track B is Shy Guy Bazaar, you start in this rolling start at Moo Moo Meadows, and then you are driving on the world map on these interconnected highways to get to Shy Guy Bazaar, and then the race ends with 1 full lap at Shy Guy Bazaar. So it is entirely different. It's really interesting, and it was tough to kind of
That's
wrap
a
our head
crazy
around
connect.
at first because it is so different than anything they've done before, but it's really ambitious, really fun, and really cool.
Really like the sort of Forza Horizon style open world driving game approach. We got to poke around a lot in this world. It's huge, and there's hidden secrets, collectibles everywhere. You can drive a boat now as your cart into the sea, and there was just like this
That's
big,
cool.
huge cloud blowing wind at me, maybe telling me to back off. I found this other area where there's just a bunch of coins tucked behind this little ridge. There's grind rails and stuff that you can interact with, or you can just hang out and take pictures with friends or whatever you want to do. The thing I'm wondering is sort of like, what's the hook? What's the loop of like finding these coins? Do we get to spend them in a shop, unlock carts or characters or costumes? Like, there's so much you can do with that.
Yeah, it is a lot like Forza Horizon. In some ways, it's not a fully open world, right? There are these tracks that you're heading to the next place on. But I think that Nintendo fans will remember Diddy Kong Racing, and that had this hub world that you drove around back on N64, and there were balloons to find and things like that. And when we
Diddy
were
Kong
in a
Racing
lobby
was
waiting for
goated.
a race to start and just kind of free roaming, I saw this glowing gold peach coin that I couldn't get to, and we don't really know what that is. Maybe it unlocks costumes or different outfits or some unlockable for Peach. Yeah, I think there's going to be stuff to do in the free roaming open world, and something else I liked about it is that was the lobby now. That is the loading screen. You're not staring at your me standing on just planet Earth anymore like Mario Kart 8. You are driving around practicing.
Yeah, that matchmaking was
button.
terrible.
If you want to go back, just like Forza, you can just rewind and you could go like all the way back to the very beginning of where you started. So it's going to be more fun when you're waiting for lobbies to fill with 24 people now, not 12 people
Crazy.
now, that you'll have something to do.
A brand new race across the entire world starts here.
I want to talk a bit
24.
about characters in this game. There are tons of them. We went through the entire character select screen. So there's not only all the classic Nintendo characters or Mario characters specifically, but also alternate costume versions of them. And that plays sort of interestingly because you can also find power-ups in the race, largely centered around food. You can get food, and that food changes and alters your looks and your costume, which potentially gives you different sort of mechanics that you can use in the game.
On the character select screen, there's all the characters, Mario, Luigi, Donkey
That's
Kong, all the
wild.
rest. And then there were alternate versions of them. There was like Cowboy Mario and like Athletic Donkey Kong or something like that. And they had different costumes. We don't really know if they impacted their stats. We're not entirely sure yet. You could pick one of these different
I don't think it would
costumes,
affect
but then you
gameplay.
find one of these special power-ups, and it almost looks like a Wonder Flower effect from Super Mario Bros. Wonder when this food is taking over your character, and then
Wonder
you pop
was
out in
so
a different
good,
costume.
dude.
My favorite new character that I got to
For it
play
being
as
a later
bunch
game.
today, I kept picking, was Cow from Moo Moo Meadows from N64 Mario Kart. One thing we did notice was that there are a bunch of characters that you can't choose that do appear in the races next to you, like Monty Mole,
Those Cow's
or the
cakes,
Piantas
though,
from
okay?
Super Mario Sunshine, or the Conch Doors from Super Mario 3D World. So, Logan, you think we'll be able to unlock all those guys eventually?
Yeah, I have to think so. Maybe that's one of the incentives to the open world and the others.
So I want to talk about some of the new items we got to experience today, because a lot of the classic ones are back, but some new ones are really fun. One of them are just hammers from the Hammer Brothers. You just throw hammers at people like you're a psycho.
That right
I
there
thought
is
those were great.
legendary,
There's also
bro.
a punchable
The
coin block
hammers?
that you can launch above your head. You hit it a bunch of times, you get a bunch of coins. But
That's
there's
cool.
also altered versions of classic items, such as the lightning bolt,
Yes.
which you noticed.
Yeah, the lightning bolt is way different in World. Instead of, Mario Kart 8, if you're in first place and you get zapped, you're probably shrunk for 30 seconds maybe. In World, it seemed like everybody was zapped and came back to full size pretty quickly. So just a balancing thing. I think they had to make a lot of core changes just to the Mario Kart DNA because of 24 racers. That changes a lot of stuff, and I think items is one place where that happened. And we also saw you no longer have to hold the item button to drag a shell behind your butt anymore. Like
Wow.
in first place, you want to protect yourself with a banana or a green shell from oncoming red shells or whatever else is coming your way. You would have to hold that button. The rep that was there said, oh no, it just drags automatically now. And it's not just shells and defensive items. Everything drags behind you. I did ram into one with a single mushroom and it gave me a boost. Yeah, presumably you can just slam into CPUs with whatever's behind them and something will trigger, which is really cool.
We also got to play on a bunch of different courses today. What were some of your favorites?
Yeah, what's really cool is that there were definite remixes of classic Mario Kart courses in here, and even some turns and segments that were ripped straight from old Mario Kart games, but just remixed a little bit. Like Dino Dino Jungle from Double Dash is here, but it's different. The music plays, it's a remix of that track, and you go through the same turns with the geysers that boil over and launch you into the air. There's retro tracks, but not in the sense that, hey, we plucked this from Mario Kart DS and we remade it here. It's we took this theme, this idea, this motif, and kind of just remixed it a little bit to fit this entirely new formula. They were all really, really good.
Introducing Knockout Tour.
Knockout Tour is the brand new non-stop 6-race, 24-player Fortnite-style battle royal Mario Kart mode, and it feels so right. This takes place in the open world, so you can hang out in the open world, launch into this, and while you're waiting for the game to populate, you just hang out, drive around, collect stuff, do your open world stuff. Little by little, eventually, characters will start to pop in, and they'll all choose a Grand Prix that they want to race on. Or
this being matchmaking is insane,
and then you jump into that race,
That's
and
so
then
cool.
Immediately from there, you're going as fast as possible, and you have to make it through checkpoints at a certain point in the race. Like if you're in, you have to be in the top 20 or you get eliminated. And things happen so fast. They're so chaotic and so crazy. I love this mode so much.
Yeah, it is super fun. And this is a bigger commitment than your standard 2 to 3 minute Mario Kart race. This is 10-ish minutes probably for the whole thing. It's 6 segments, and you're driving from one track to the second, to the third, to the fourth, to the fifth, to the sixth. You're not stopping and doing an individual lap at that circuit. You're just driving kind of the in-between areas. So a very different take. You're not going to see anything twice in this race because it is a linear path from start to finish, like a 10-minute long Mount Wario, essentially. And it's super fun. It feels like F-Zero, where every moment is intense. It's not just about winning the race at the end and maybe you get a lucky bullet bill. It is lap 3. I am in 16th place. I need to be in 12th place. Can I get there? You're trying to pass people, and there's 12 people behind you trying to pass you. And you, Brian, had a really unlucky one the first time we tried this. You went to like
crazy,
third
man.
to
Like an
22nd.
F-Zero feel,
which is something you can say now in Mario Kart World. It's crazy. Adding 24 characters to the track just makes it so chaotic.
It happened so fast I was just jaw-dropped, stunned, and all I could do was laugh. This is going to lead to some of the funniest moments in Mario Kart history, and I cannot wait for it. Mario Kart World launches day and date on Nintendo Switch 2 when the system launches, and it's going for $80. And I don't want to dwell on it too much, but I have to get it off my chest that this feels just a little weird. We loved what we played today. All the
That's what I was saying, man. That
all
price.
The characters are awesome. It didn't really scream, this justifies $80 to me. It just really feels like Nintendo knows that this is one of the best-selling franchises of all time. But why is this game $80?
It's a tough pill to swallow, especially when something like Donkey Kong Bonanza, which looks equally amazing, is $70. It's just a very inconsistent pricing structure from Nintendo, and we're seeing what their upgrades to $10 for some, $20 for another. And Mario Kart being the first $80 Nintendo game, yeah, I'll easily get $80 worth of value out of it, but it is a tough pill to swallow for a game so aimed at families, and it just makes me wonder, is Animal Crossing going to be $80? Splatoon, the next Zelda, like it's opening a can of worms that we'll see how Nintendo proceeds, and if in 1 year they add 8 new tracks for free, I'll feel great about that purchase.
That
if
is
they come out
crazy,
and
though.
add a DLC pass where I'm putting more money into Mario Kart World, I don't know how people are going to feel about that. So it's an interesting one for sure.
Yeah, I feel like if this thing came bundled with like a year of Nintendo Switch Online,
I mean, there's a
or
lot
some
of
sort season
reasoning
pass
why
content,
it's
something
that
made it
much
feel like,
too,
hey, this is,
man.
we're
Like,
really getting a bang
Mario
for the buck
Kart's ain't
here.
gonna
It'd be a
handle
little
carry
easier
a
to
Switch
handle, but
a
right now
lot.
it
I
kind of
mean,
stinks. It's the only
it was
real
the
negative
best
we have
game.
about Mario Kart World so far, which otherwise feels, looks, and plays fantastic. But that's Mario Kart World, one of the many games we played here.
Get the free roam.
One of the course that we started on for the Mushroom Cup. And as you can
This
see,
is cool,
like,
man.
There's no when you drive off course, Locky 2 doesn't come and pick you up like he does in the Grand
That's
Prix.
super cool.
You can drive anywhere.
Anywhere
just
at
kind of
all.
Explore. Yeah.
And
Grab
there's
a
items
snack.
there.
Yeah,
You
grab
can
a
go to
little
the
bit of fast
diner,
food,
get
yeah.
yourself a milkshake.
Yeah.
Go to Yoshi.
Not really, but you know, theoretically.
And I could take a I could take a quick look at the map here.
I think that's like very
and you could
therapeutic,
see
the free
where
roam
it
for sure.
exists in the world and get an idea of some of the other courses. And we could see over here is Crown City and DK Spaceport. We'll stay at Mario Brothers Circuit for a little bit and explore a little bit more.
Because you could drive there too if you want.
Yeah. And here you can get a little bit more practice on the course if you wanted to. But there's
That's what I was gonna say. Like, get familiar with the course, but also like just I think it's therapeutic.
Let's
like just
drive
kind of cruise
around.
around,
Yeah,
have fun with the mechanics.
There are other races around here.
Hi, friend. There's the Toad driving the car.
Yeah.
Koopa Troopa driving the other car.
There are
This
so
is
many
cool right here.
details in this world that you can start to get an idea of when you no longer have the pressure.
The coin noise is dope
racing
too.
Behind you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Like there's sections up here. I discovered when I was in free roam mode earlier on Mario Brothers Circuit that there were some rails up in the top that I didn't know existed.
So you can basically create a strategy while you're here
Yeah.
for when you're in the race.
And here's a new.
Yeah,
thing.
this is new. When you're racing on the water, your vehicle kind of transforms into this watercraft
Yeah.
mode, which is really cool.
This makes it really cool because you could study the maps now, so when you actually
There are
race, you know where to
touches,
go.
There's
Which
a lot
is
of,
gonna
like,
be both good and
branding
bad, right? 'Cause
stuff
everybody
for the
else is
world.
gonna
You've
know
got
it
all
too.
these ads on
A
the
lot
show.
more.
Yeah.
Luigi tires.
Okay, well let's go over to Crown City for a
All right.
moment.
That's cool, man. That's a cool
Just take a
like
look.
traversing
Yeah,
way.
and you get another perspective. There is a day and night cycle
As we see
when
here.
you're in the world, and there are weather systems too that can affect the way things look.
Yeah.
I want to let this shy guy
saw
pass
that
me so I could drive- get a little bit off
That's
course
too
here,
cool.
so you can get an idea of what it's like to drive around in the
Oh,
world.
there's a Yoshi.
I know.
And you can
don't run him over.
also even stop and
So like I think that this is pretty insane just overall
hang out.
for sure.
Yeah,
Like
you can, yeah,
the bad things, of course, everybody's gonna say is like the pricing, just kind of like both. I guess in totality, like the content is good. It's just the pricing looks insane. And IGN made a point earlier, like they talked about the fact that if people actually like, if it actually goes through with this price and does really well still, then it probably opens up more opportunities for games to just continuously be this pricey. And if bigger consoles, household consoles like PlayStation and Xbox see it, they're probably gonna go right into that formula as well. Then everybody's gonna, at the end of the day, it's a market. It's a competitive market, especially video games these days are just insane how popular like gaming is now. So I think that that's insane. Second of all, Mario Kart just has so much cool stuff. Just the price is going to be questionable, but I still really enjoy it. And last but not least, there's a reason why they charge this that much. Just because from 2017 all the way to literally now 2025, like this day, like I have my Switch right here. Like Mario Kart carried Nintendo Switch, and from casual all the way to competitive. So it was just no question and no debate as to why they're charging that much specifically and solely for this game. I'm pretty sure it's going to carry Switch 2 for a long time until like a lot more third parties come around. But for the most part, we're looking at first party exclusives for Nintendo that are going to just simply carry the system easily, which is why we always buy them anyways, right? But yeah, y'all let me know y'all's thoughts on Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Kart. I wanted to do this. I'll probably do something else on Donkey Kong also. I really want to talk about that. But yeah, y'all let me know what's up. Peace.